Hello, everyone. This is Rob back at you again, and I appreciate you being here. Well, this is, I believe we're in day 7 now of Mr. Hatchett's Ecom Elite's course. This is an update where I'm at, what's going on, how much I've spent, pros and cons at this point. So let's just dive right in and get to where things should need to be at. Anyway. So basically, what I've done, it's day 7. I can't spend every day working, in his course. I have other things that I need to take care of. But whenever I do get the opportunity, I jump over to the course, and go through it. So we are in day 7, and here are some of the things that I would like to cover today with his course. Now, on my first video with him, I think it was day 2. It was pretty positive. I was making it through module 1. Things looked pretty decent. I wasn't complaining. But when I got into module 2, module 3, things started changing for me. I wasn't happy about some things, and I'm going to be pointing them out in this video here. Anyway, in day 2 video, I was going over the template, and if you remember correctly, or if you haven't seen the video, make sure you check it out so you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, his template that you could actually purchase, the turbo template, I ended up having to get that template just simply because basically a lot of the things that he was covering was actually on that turbo template and not on just a regular website. So I ended up having to get the turbo template. I ended up having to spend another 97 bucks to get that template. And so what I want to cover right now is costs. He doesn't mention any of this in his sales pitch for this course. His sale pitch for the course is 300 bucks, but he does not tell you everything else, okay, that you're actually going to end up spending. So let me get into. I wrote it down here. The money I have spent at this point, the actual cost of this course. Okay, so anyway, so his course, of course, is 300 bucks. I paid that. I ended up having to get the turbo template. That was another $97. And then I had to pay for the domain. He doesn't tell you about that. Ended up having to pay $14 for the domain. And then on top of that, he tells you about plugins that you need to add to your cart as well to make it better, obviously, and things of that nature. So I ended up having to get 3 plugins, each one being about $14, I believe it was. Yeah, 14 bucks. So I ended up spending another $42 on that as well. So what is the total cost of this actual course at this point? Is not 300 bucks. It's actually $459, and I'm only in module 3, and breaking into module 4. So that's where we're at in cost. Just so you know. And another thing I wanted to go ahead and point out it as well, because I'm going through these modules, and of course I knew about it, but it didn't click until I was actually going through those modules that people may not know, and something he certainly doesn't say, through his pitch and everything else like that, and especially if you're new to drop shipping. One cost that you may not know about or even think about is when you're doing drop shipping. Basically, what you're doing is selling somebody else's product. Okay, so you take their product, you put it on your shop, and you're selling it at a higher, obviously a higher price than what you're buying it for. Okay, so one thing that you have to factor in when you're doing drop shipping is you need to have capital to work with. Okay, and the reason why I say that is, let's say that you actually do a pretty good job. You're promoting your products on your drop shipping site, and let's say 10 orders come in. Okay, and let's say that those 10 orders are for 50 bucks. Okay, so in other words, you just made $500 in sales. What you may not know is that you have to actually pay for those products first. Okay? So you better have $500 so you can place that order with your supplier. And then, of course, once the funds clear, that they paid for the product from your customers, once the funds clear, that's when you actually get the money. So you actually don't have the customer's money to purchase those goods. Okay? You actually have to use your own money to purchase those goods. They get shipped, and eventually maybe 24 hours or 48 hours, or it just depends on which gateway you're using. It could be even up to 7 days. You never know. When the funds clear, that's when you actually get the money for them. So if you don't have any money, obviously you cannot purchase those products. Um, you're literally waiting for those funds to clear so you can purchase the product, and that will delay the shipping. In other words, instead of taking maybe a week or two for that product to get to the customer, it's now going to take maybe 4 to 5 weeks for that product to get to the customer, and they ain't going to be happy about that. They're not going to be happy about waiting, anywhere from a month to 5 weeks for the product. So just keep that in mind as well. So I wanted to point that out. Anyway, I'm going through his modules. Now that I'm going through a lot of, more of his videos, it seems to me that he's really missing some things that he really needs to explain better. Um, I think a newbie might, somebody new at this would start getting lost at this point, and really have some questions. So, I just wanted to point that out as well. And in this video, I really wanted to point out something that was a major, 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 major red flag for me, and which I certainly did not like. Okay. Now, with his course, he says that you need to join his group on Facebook, and that's where basically if you have any questions or have any issues, or you're just looking for feedback, tips, and things like that, you'll find all this in this group, and which is the Ecom Elites, his group on Facebook, which is called Ecom Elites Exclusive Hideout. That's his group. So I jumped over there. I thought that was great. It's always great to be in those communities because if you do have any questions, you can get the answers pretty much right away. Somebody's helping you out, and of course you want to see Frank on there, Mr. Hatchett on there, giving up more tips and things like that. So I went over there. I went ahead and joined the group. They actually asked for my information. I had to be approved to join the group. So that, in other words, you can only join this group if you have purchased his course. Okay. So I had to get approved. That took a little time. I think not too long, maybe a day, and I got approved. And I was okay, great. And once you get approved, you can actually see all the posts and questions and things like that. And this is his group here. Um, I may blot out some of this. I don't know yet. I got to edit the video. But one thing that I noticed right away is there is a lot of new people in this group. So I saw a lot of questions coming from newbies, basically, is what I'm saying. And I noticed that I had gone back 4 months in this group. I really wanted to see what was going on in this group. So I went back actually 4 months into this group. And I only saw one post from Mr. Hatchett himself within that 4 months. Um, and it was basically about his Facebook account, getting closed or something like that. It had nothing to do with the course. It had nothing, absolutely zero information on it. Just basically, all he did was set a post saying that he was having issues with his personal Facebook page. That was it. I did not see any replies from him as far as if somebody asked a question or needed help with something. I did not see him reply to any of them. I did see that there was one gentleman in that group that was doing most of the replying to questions that were being asked and stuff like that. I'm not going to point the gentleman out. I don't think I need to do that. But what I did was then I clicked on him to find out who this guy was, to find out more about him because he was probably doing 90% of the replies to questions within the group. So I clicked on him to find out more about him, and when I looked at his account, He had zero friends. He had nothing posted about the course, nothing like that. So I was like, wow, okay. So the person that's doing all the answering in this group is basically a guy you can't find out anything about. Okay, so that kind of turned me off. But anyway, like I said, I didn't really see anything from Mr. Hatchett himself, and I was like, if this is your group, if you pay $300 for this course, you want to see the guy that's actually put this course together in that group, replying to people, putting maybe more tips or things that you could do to build your business and things like that. But I literally didn't see anything from him. The other thing that was a major turnoff for me, and which I did not like, I mean, red flags were going off left and right, was I actually, once I finished my website, I made a post in the group saying, "Hey, can you take a look at my shop? Let me know if you have any feedback, anything that I could do to make any improvements or anything like that." And so when I hit submit, it said must be approved. Post must be approved before it can go live. And I just jumped back. I was like, "What?" I says, "Why in the heck would any post be monetized? Not monetized, but monitored in this group? I mean, that should not be. I mean, first of all, you have to get approved to be in this group. Second of all, I've paid a lot of money to be in this course and be in this group, and now you're telling me that I have to wait to see if you're even going to allow my post to go live, and I have to wait to see if to get any replies on my post when it does go live." It literally took the next day. My post did go live, but I mean, I was like, no, you should not be waiting for your post to go live in any group like that. And the only thing that popped into my head, and I might be wrong, but the only thing that popped into my head when that happened was, oh, there must be a lot of people putting a lot of bad stuff up here, and so they had to stop the post from going live right away so they can weed out all the negative posts, shall we say, about the course. So that I really didn't like. I mean, if you're doing a good job in your group, if you're actually helping people, if you're there and you're very active with the group, you should have no problems at all, none at all. But the fact that they're monitoring their posts and only allowing what they want allowed to go through, that is not a good sign, my friend. That is definitely not a good sign. So today, what I did was I actually went back into the group, and I did finally see a post from Mr. Hatchet. Um, and it basically said, "Hey, you can't create, new groups." I mean, you could sit here. I'm screen sharing, so you can actually see what he said. And he's basically saying that you shouldn't be starting new groups. People are starting new groups. I wonder why they're starting new groups. Probably because they're not getting the help that they need in this group, so they're creating new groups to hopefully get the help. And then he's going on about this. Members are complaining that students are not posting results. They don't have to. Okay, it's great that if people are posting results. Every time they do, they get spammed and PM'd. Okay, all right. This course has been around longer than any other course, and last time I checked, has well over 50 million in student results and multiple students doing seven figures a month. I doubt that. I very seriously doubt that. 50 million students with results. Doubt it, my friend. I'm going to call major BS on that one. Uh, and and then uh, and then lo and behold, because I did a post a while back, I don't know if I can get that post up, but I said, hey, it seems awful funny. I says I went 4 months back, and I don't see anything from Mr. Hatchet. I says, does anybody else know if he's active in this course? And when I put that post up, I was surprised. First of all, they allowed the post, but when it went, I mean, it got comments like that quick. Basically everybody was saying, no, I don't see anything from him. So here's his post. I'm here every single day. he had somebody pass away, which is fortunate. Unfortunate. I really do feel sorry for any loss that he has. Um, and he went in to say that he's having Facebook issues. And then he goes in, you may not see my posts here, the Facebook algorithms and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so he's, I'm not gonna, when anybody, I've had deaths in my own family, so I don't like saying bad things when somebody's passed away, and I'm not trying to do that now. But I told you I was gonna give you everything. And then of course, he's got a couple positive feedbacks there. Um, and then right below it, hey, this group has pretty low engagement. And of course, that came back. And then after that, he put this post. And I think a lot of them are doing that. A lot of people are saying, hey, what's going on here? Uh, I think that, to me, that was just, like I said, a major red flag when I saw that. I was like, golly, he's actually monitoring his own group. Uh, so anyway, that's where we're at. I'm sorry, I apologize. This video is going on, but that's where we're at day 7 with this course. I'm gonna keep going through it. Push my way through. See how the course goes from there. But that is the update for day 7 of Mr. Hatchett's Ecom Elite course. Never know. You never know where we're gonna come out on the end of this. We'll just have to wait, see, continue going through the course. There's plenty of modules that I still need to do, and I will keep you up to date, and we'll go from there. I appreciate you being here, and if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notification bell. I certainly do appreciate it. It is a new channel. I'm trying to do as best as I can to get as many videos up as I possibly can. I will be having future videos on other tips that might be able to help you out grow your business. So make sure you stay on that subscribe button to get those videos. Anyway, I really do appreciate you being here, and I wish you the very best day. And see you on my next video. Bye.